Good evening, Spurs fans. How are we today on this fine Wednesday evening here in Brisbane? Yeah, I was gonna do a review of the Newcastle game, and I was just gonna do something a bit different tonight. Review of the game, as I say, I got to see the first 15 minutes, which was ho-hum, just the start of a game. Then I got to see the first couple of minutes of the second half. It was in between work, run between trucks and all that sort of stuff. So it was a bit, not really. I can't really do a full-on review because I didn't see a lot of the game. Watched the highlights, saw the goals, and Romero, brilliant header and a brilliant overhead kick, which saved us the game. The penalty, yeah. It's if they start awarding them, maybe it might stop the grappling in the penalty box, because that was just a terrible decision. Something that didn't go our way. So, but yeah, from what I've read and little bits I've seen on YouTube and all that sort of stuff, apparently Bergville had a great game. Or not a great game, but a good game, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it was again, but a point. It's a point away from home. And as I say, I think they said we're 6 points off fourth or something, and then between second and 14th is 6 points or something. So as I say, it wasn't a loss. We got a point. We got to be positive about that. Another thing to be positive about, we had 2 shots on target and we got them both. So we're clinical. We're clinical as ever. So that's great news. Yeah, I thought I might do something a bit different. All this talk about, who we are as a club, what sort of football we want to play, and I guess it comes back to football philosophies and all that sort of stuff. And it got me thinking. I was at work. I remember when I started. I was under 8s or under 9s, and I always remember the team sheet or the numbers was 1 the goalkeeper, 2 was right fullback, 3 was left fullback, 4 was right midfield, 5 was centre midfield, 6 was left midfield. You had 7 was your right winger, 8 was your inside right, 9 was your striker, 10 was your inside left, and 11 was your left winger. Could you imagine that system? 2-3-5. How good would that be? That would be awesome. So you have the, what is it? 4-4-2, 3-5-2, 3-4-3. And you remember when we who's ever played the game, when they were playing it as a kid, your sole aim was to boot it forward. It was just to go forward all the time. I don't think whenever, we were under 8s, 9s, 10s, or maybe up to even under 12s or something, there was never a thought of passing backwards. Like, I remember watching, my 2 younger brothers, we all started at the same time, so they were a bit younger. So my youngest brother, I think he started in under 6s, and they were playing on a full-size field. Under 6s, it would take them half the game to get from one end to the other. But it was like watching a thing of ants going around chasing the ball, but it was always going forward for one team. It was always, and you look at the way we're playing at the moment. Like there was a couple of times, I think, just in that first half, in the first 15 minutes that I did see, we got the ball and we were going for a break, and we got to a certain, and then just stopped and turned and went back to the fullback, or went back to Udogi, or went back to Porro, and I was just thinking, oh my God, it was just one kick, one pass, boom, boom, and you're away, you're out of their press and all that sort of stuff. And I just wonder, like, why are we not doing that? As I say, I'll get behind every manager, and I will support Thomas Frank until Thomas Frank's no longer there. But he's got to take the handbrake off. He's got to move his little chess pieces that way. Forward. Don't worry about turning the ball back in here. Get what's his name? Cochran. Look at his little iPad there and just put the little white lines going that way. let's go forward, let's score. So yeah, and that was one of the things I was thinking of, and thinking about that at work today. I remember as a kid that was the numbers of the thing. It was a one, like it would be a 2-3-5 setup, and you're always wanting to go forward. And I think the football nowadays, Premier League, because of Manchester City, Fulham 5-4, wow, 5-1 up, and then Fulham just come back and just rattled them 5-4. So, but it's just an odd thing that polar opposites, I guess, from Ange to Thomas, but it's just those couple of little things on the break, like when we've got the ball, when we've broken up one of their attacks, and we're past 2 passes forward, and we think, oh, here we go, we're away. And then the midfielder gets the ball, turns it back to the inside, and you think, oh my God, that's so frustrating. And I can imagine what it's like for the fans when you're there and you stand up, you're ready to go, and then, you go back down, so you sit back down again. You know, it just, it's a bit frustrating to watch. Yeah, I was thinking about a lineup for Brentford, because we're at home. And we know he's the tinkerer but I don't know whether he's the tinkerer anymore. He doesn't, he changes, and I don't know. It's just weird. Why not your Doggy, Van de Ven, and Porro, and then you could have on the right. So thinking about this one, I was just having a shower. What was it? It was who did I have on the right? Bergvall, Romero, Xavi, and who do I have on there? Oh, you could have Sarr or Gray as your midfield. Have a 3-4-3. Yeah, so that was. God, it's old age. It's getting to you. Just, Bergvall, Romero. I'd put Romero in the midfield. We're at home, and you can score goals. Middley, they were ahead or anything from a set piece, but he will find a pass. He'll break the lines with a pass, and he'll do it further up the pitch, higher up the pitch. So I'm thinking Bergvall, Romero, Xavi, Sarr / whoever. Can't remember now. And up front, you could have Kudus, Mawani, and Tell / Odebear up on the left. And just go something. I think Romero, everyone's saying we want a big 6 and all that sort of stuff. If you play 3-4-3 and you have Romero in the midfield, he's your 6, and you've got your creative, Bergvall run up and down, Sarr or Gray, they can run up and down. On either side, you got your Xavi in the middle to create, and he's got a bit of protection. He's got a bit of protection there with Romero. And you've got Romero who can split the lines, or split the lines with a pass, and have even if you didn't want Kuda, if you didn't want you could try Johnson through there with a bit of speed, because you got we especially at home, and Brentford's going to be a big game. We need to be on the front foot. We need to play attacking football. And I know I keep going on all my videos about front foot football, but I just thought I might do something a bit different tonight, because the other one's probably been reviewed to death, and I thought I'd put something up about just different philosophies. And I still remember, as I say, as a kid, you always go out there and it was always forward. Always bang, 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 trying to go forward. I don't know whether that was always, the numbering was always in my head. That was what it is. I don't know if that was just out here, like because we were a football backwater. No one knows anything about football in Australia. But it was always good fun. That's probably when you look back at kids getting into football at an early age is such a good thing. And, Australia has got a high participation rate up until, I think, 15 or 16. It's the highest sport participation is football, which is amazing. And we just lose them when we get to about 15, which is unfortunate because we haven't got the competitions here to make it to survive, and there's too much infighting within all the power brokers in Australian football. But I digress. That's just another rant for another video, maybe one day. But yeah, it's just it's good to get a point. It's good to get Ramiro's got a couple of goals, and I do like I don't know about the cupping of the ears. I know that was a piss take of the Newcastle celebration. It's always good. I love it where after the final whistle and there's a bit of push and shove. I see. I don't know if it was Odebear or Tell was trying to grab Ramiro because Ramiro was on a yellow, wasn't he? So he had to be very careful. It was good to see that they dragged him away because we know how fiery Ramiro is, and it was good that they actually got him away from that situation. But that might do it for tonight, guys. I really appreciate it. I've got 17 subscribers now, so got a couple of new ones, which is fantastic. Got a mention by Johnny, which I really appreciate. I just love supporting these Johnny and Paul, the Hotspur hippie. They tell it like it is. I do watch the other ones, but you turn up. I used to watch them all, but now you get halfway through them and they just go. It's over and over and over the same thing, and just gets get monotonous and all that sort of stuff. So at least with Paul and Johnny, you hear it like it is, and it's from the right place. It's from people that really love the football club. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. As I say, like and subscribe and comment. All comments are gratefully accepted. And if you've got any thoughts on football philosophies and all that sort of stuff, write them in the comments. It'd be great to hear. Great to hear from people. Okay, so come on, you Spurs. Let's go.